Okay, and I've already gotten my tea bags in there and my lemon, and my water is boiling, so time for tea. Please subscribe to my channel. Help me to get to 1,000. I'm making tea. Been doing that a lot lately. I've been trying to be a little bit more self-contained, I guess. And it's also been uncharacteristically warm. So on the weekends I've been less likely to eat out and try to prepare stuff in the van. Right now I'm trying to make tea. I have a little grill that I can put on here to balance this better, but I'm always too lazy to dig it out. But yeah, so I'm just putting that on there to heat up my water, and I should find that little grate I have that goes over it to make it balance better. But yeah, just making tea. It's Sunday, and I am trying to make a conscious effort for this weekend to only eat food that I have in my van. So, and to only prepare food I have in my van. And I always make tea. I rarely buy tea because it's just a matter of heating up hot water. I do buy coffee a lot. You know, I can make coffee too in the van, and I do sometimes, but like tea is one of those things where I just can't buy tea. To me, it's just like, I don't know, there's something about, it's just like hot water. It's a cup of hot water and you just throw a tea bag in there. So I'm not, like, buying tea is just something I rarely do, just out of principle alone. So I tend to have tea more on the weekends or whenever I have free time. I have a new job position, so it requires more of my work time than usual, and I have to actually go into the office. I got a promotion, so I have to be in the office. So I have less time. You know, when I was telecommuting and working from the van, it was, you know, I don't know, somehow my time, I was able to manage it better. But while I'm getting used to learning the ropes of the new position, you know, my free time isn't as great. So I don't, you know, I tend to buy coffee and stuff on the weekdays now. Since I, you know, started this new position, I buy stuff out. I don't even bother to try to make something. But this is the weekend, so this is a time to slow down and, you know, be more self-contained in the van and make my tea at home. I prefer actual real lemons in my tea, you know, and in the apartment before van life, I used to always cut up lemons and keep them, you know, for tea and whatnot. And I did that for a little bit here in the van, but then, especially in the summer, I got fruit flies, and I'm like, okay, that's not worth it. I can't have that in this small space. So I started buying these real lemon packets, which it's concentrated lemon juice. It's not perfect, but it works. It makes a good cup of tea. So that's what I do. I buy these single serve packets, and I keep those for my tea. That's a pro tip. And it's also, you know, it doesn't need refrigeration, so it's actually pretty good for van life. It's a shelf-stable type of food. I'm not sure how I'm going to put together the videos. I've been filming things on different days, but this is a Sunday. What is today? Today's November 7th, Sunday, November 7th. And it's yet another day of me making a cup of tea on the weekend. I'm in a park, and I'm parked, you know, in a park, and that's where I do stuff like prepare stuff and, you know, cook, because I'm not going to get a knock or anything. I'm not going to have to move. You don't want to have to move, you know, and cool down your stove and do all that stuff. So, and I've never actually gotten a knock, thank goodness. And hopefully I won't. But yeah, I only like do things like prepare food or heat up stuff someplace where I know I can park legally for a while. So it's early in the morning, and I left my sleeping spot, and now I'm at my day spot at the park on this Sunday. And my plan is just to relax here at the park. I'm making my morning tea, and, you know, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to watch YouTube. I'm going to read. I have my Kindle charged. Yeah, and get myself mentally prepared for work tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for water to boil, and I'm letting you guys watch water boil with me. It is, when I checked the temperature, it was 29 degrees, and there was a very, very light dusting of snow on the ground. And I have seen a lot of odd contraptions and rigs for nomads actually in the last few days. But there is a man who's got like a bicycle with a cart that's attached to the back of it, and he has fashioned a little shelter in the back, and it's covered with a blue tarp. And I've seen him riding his bike around town, but the guy has like a little sleeping, like little pod in the back. It's a bicycle with with a trailer on it, and yeah, he sleeps in that thing. I saw him get out. I didn't know he did because it looks like he's hauling stuff. And yeah, I saw him crawl out of there. It's like a little tiny coffin-sized type of thing at the back of his trailer. And yeah, and I've seen people in their cars, a lot of people in cars. I don't know if it's economic hard times or just, a lot of nomads I've noticed. And it's getting a little bit colder here in Anchorage. But yeah, so I'm making my tea. I'm gonna have green tea today. And then I'm gonna go about the rest of my day relaxing. So it's 8:30 in the morning, and this is a public park. And another nomad showed up, and he's got a pickup truck with some sort of topper that he looks like he made himself, and he has a trailer. And he just pulled up, and parks worker was here, and they dumped the garbage and stuff, and they were like, the minute he pulled up, the parks worker in the truck was looking at him, like getting out of his truck looking at him. And then shortly after that, the parks worker left, and then the police officer pulled up. Pretty sure the parks worker called the police officer, because the parks worker just seemed very upset that that man had pulled up. So now the police are just sitting there, sort of, looking at him. The police guy pulled up and, looked in the car and looked in the vehicle and was like very much, making it clear, hey, move along, Although this is a public park and the guy has a right to be here. He just pulled up. I don't know. There might be history. I have no idea what's going on. You never know. So you never know. You never know what's going on. I have to say that just goes to show you that there is discrimination based on the type of vehicle that you have in van life, because there's a lot of nomads I've seen who pull up in very nice SUVs and decent looking vans. My van looks pretty. It's modern. It's in good condition. I mean, unless you know what to look for, you would not know that this is, I'm doing van life in it. It just looks like a delivery truck, and it's a newer vehicle. And I keep it well maintained, and I make sure I go to car washes and keep my van washed. I mean, it's dirty, but I do keep it washed so it looks like, presentable on the outside. So if I'm parking in a neighborhood or something, I don't stick out. And so the vehicle makes a difference in how you're treated. I've been at I go to many parks. I rotate parks. I don't go to one place. So, and I don't come here I come here, but I don't come here all the time. I rotate, as most people do in parks. And I have seen people, this one guy pulled up in an SUV, and I had no idea he was a nomad. I was just, and he was just sitting in the park, and he was feeding the ducks. And then he got out, and there wasn't too many people around. I noticed he kind of looked around. He opened his back door, and I saw him arranging stuff, and then I realized he's got a bed back there. And then when I really looked carefully, when I saw he's got a cooler or a portable fridge. He didn't have a cooler, he had a refrigerator. And then I looked really, really carefully, and he had these very thin solar panels, and it was an SUV. From the outside, he had like really thin solar panels on his roof, but you couldn't tell. In fact, I thought it was like a sunroof, that has a blackened top. I did not know they were very thin, flexible solar panels. And I'm like, dude's got a nice little setup there. And he had a nice looking newer SUV, like the current year maybe. So I had no idea. And so the way people treat nomads based on your vehicle makes a huge difference. I've seen some Sprinter vans pull up. Now, the Sprinter van is pretty obvious that they're doing van life, a lot of them. very nice, expensive Sprinter vans have pulled up alongside me. No one bothers them, and everyone knows they're doing van life because it's so obvious. They've got like the, it's like a little Class B motorhome. Everyone knows that that's what they're doing, and half of them even leave the doors open so you can see the inside, see their really nice setup. No one bothers them. No one tells them to move along because it's the type of vehicle they have, But if somebody looks a little bit down on their luck, or they have a homemade type of trailer and things like that, I noticed that they seem to get problems. I'm sitting here in my van and I literally have seen police run people off to the left and right of me who look homeless, and they just don't even bother. They don't even look at me a second time, give me a second thought, because they just figure I'm someone just sitting in the park, And yeah, that's part of the reason why I don't put a roof vent on my van, because I do not want any external signs that this van is anything more than a delivery van. But yeah, it kind of makes me sad though, because it is a public park, and you are allowed to sit in the public park during the times it's open. So I feel bad for that guy, or gal, I don't know who's in there. But yeah, there is discrimination, and based on the type of vehicle you have when it comes to nomad life.